Hello everyone, and welcome to Cookinglandia. Did you know that some of the most popular foods in the world have such curious stories that they seem straight out of a book of legends? Today we bring you the first part of a series that will leave you hungry to know more. Here we present 30 incredible curiosities from the history of cooking. But first remember, if you are interested in our content, please give us a like and subscribe. It really helps us a lot. In this new video, we bring you everything from culinary mistakes that changed history to dishes born from royalty. These curiosities have historical support, although some belong to popular folklore. So, are you ready to discover the story behind your favorite foods? Let's go there. We start with one of the most popular snacks in the world, the sandwich. Did you know that it is named after John Montagu, the 4th Earl of Sandwich? In 1762, Montagu, an avid card player, asked to be served meat between two pieces of bread so as not to get his hands dirty and to continue playing without interruptions. Although there were already other cultures that placed ingredients between breads, it was this anecdote that gave it its name and worldwide popularity. So next time you enjoy a sandwich, you know who to thank. Although we associate it with fries and hamburgers, ketchup has a surprising origin. China. Ketchup comes from a sauce called croissant, made from fermented fish in the 17th century. Over time, the British adapted the recipe, and in the 19th century, in the United States, tomatoes were introduced into the formula, creating the ketchup we know today. It was Henry J. Heinz who popularized it and took it to the top of sauces. Sometimes mistakes can be delicious, like in the case of French fries. In 1853, a dissatisfied customer complained that his potatoes were too thick and soft. George Crumb, the chef, decided to cut the potatoes thinly, fry them until crispy, and add a lot of salt. To Crumb's surprise, the client loved his creation. This is how French fries were born, which we enjoy today all over the world. Also known as Saratoga chips, in honor of the restaurant's location. Cheese is one of the oldest foods, and according to legend, it was discovered by accident more than 7,000 years ago. Shepherds transported milk in containers made from animal stomachs, which contained an enzyme called rennet. During travel, milk was separated into curds and whey, creating a primitive form of cheese. Since then, cheese has evolved, and today there are thousands of varieties around the world. Hot chocolate was so delicious in the 16th century that some monasteries in Spain banned it. It was feared that its consumption would distract monks from their religious duties by being too indulgent. The curious thing is that the drink was seen as such a luxury that it was believed to threaten the austere life of the monks. Imagine how irresistible that must have been. Margarita pizza is a classic, but did you know that it was created in honor of Queen Margaret of Savoy? In 1889, pizza maker Raffaele Esposito prepared this pizza with the colors of the Italian flag: red for tomato, white for mozzarella, and green for basil. Since then, the Margarita pizza has become a symbol of Italian cuisine. During the Tang and Song dynasties in China, tea was not only a drink, but also a currency. It was compressed into blocks and used to trade goods in Central Asia and Mongolia. This use of tea as a currency shows how valuable it was at that time, and its symbolic value is still important today. Ice cream, a delicacy we love today, has its roots in ancient China. Around 200 BC, the Chinese mixed milk with snow and used saltpeter to solidify the mixture, creating a primitive form of ice cream. It was Marco Polo who brought this idea to Europe, where ice cream evolved into the dessert we know today. Although the croissant is a symbol of French baking, its roots are in Vienna, not Paris. In 1683, to celebrate the victory over the Ottoman Empire, Viennese bakers created a crescent-shaped bread, a symbol of the Ottoman flag. This kipferl was brought to France by Marie Antoinette and adapted by French bakers, turning it into the flaky croissant we know today. Today, sugar is something we take for granted, but in the 18th century, it was considered an unattainable luxury for most. Only the richest families could afford it, since its production was expensive and depended on plantations in the Caribbean colonies. Over time, access to sugar transformed European cuisine, giving rise to the modern pastries that we enjoy so much today. In the Middle Ages, black pepper was known as black gold and was used as currency. So valuable was it that some feudal lords accepted payments in pepper for the lease of land. Control of pepper trade routes was one of the drivers of trade between Europe and Asia, and its value symbolized wealth and status. The McDonald's hamburger marked a before and after in the way we eat. In the 1940s, the McDonald brothers revolutionized fast food by offering a hamburger for just 15 cents, making a quick and cheap meal accessible to the masses. The concept of self-service and the standardization of the cooking process changed the food industry forever. The classic Christmas candy cane wasn't always the J shape we know today. In the 17th century, its shape was modified to resemble the shepherd's staff, symbolizing Christmas and the visit of the shepherds at the birth of Jesus. This change made it a Christmas icon in Europe and America, especially with the characteristic red and white stripes. Pretzels, those delicious twisted salty breads, were supposedly invented by Christian monks in the 7th century. Their shape symbolized arms crossed in prayer, and they were given to children as a reward for learning their prayers. Over time, the pretzel became a symbol of good luck and prosperity, especially in Germany, where it is a central element of Oktoberfest. Did you know that peanut butter was created in 1895 as a nutritious food for sick patients? Dr. John Harvey Kellogg, best known for his cereals, was looking for a meat substitute rich in protein and easy to digest. Although Kellogg did not patent his recipe, peanut butter quickly caught on and became a staple in many diets. Milk, especially donkey milk, had a special status in ancient Rome. It was believed to have healing and rejuvenating properties. Famously, Cleopatra of Egypt bathed in donkey milk to keep her skin soft. Roman doctors recommended this milk for a variety of ailments, from digestive problems to skin diseases. Tomato, one of the most used ingredients today, was considered poisonous in Europe when it arrived from the New World in the 16th century. Due to their relationship to poisonous plants such as nightshade, Europeans believed that eating tomatoes could be dangerous. Furthermore, when they were served on pewter plates, the acid in the tomato gave off lead, which caused poisoning, reinforcing its bad reputation. It was not until the 18th century that the tomato began to be accepted as a food. Delicious baklava, with its thin layers of phyllo dough and nut filling, has its roots in the Ottoman Empire. Although many countries claim it, it was in the Ottoman palaces where this dessert became popular, reserved for the most important celebrations. Over time, its fame spread throughout the territory of the empire, adapting to the local traditions of each region. Although caviar is a symbol of luxury today, in Russia it was a cheap and common food among peasants. Sturgeon eggs were so abundant that they were considered an accessible source of protein. It was in the 19th century when caviar began to gain popularity among European aristocrats, becoming an exclusive food. The famous British dessert, Eton Mess, a mixture of strawberries, cream, and meringue, has a funny history. According to legend, at a picnic at Eton College, a dog accidentally crushed a tray of strawberry meringue. Instead of throwing it away, they decided to serve it as it was, and it turned out to be a hit. Today, this dessert is a classic of summer festivities in the United Kingdom. Did you know that the famous Worcestershire sauce was an accident? In the 19th century, pharmacists John Leah and William Perrins tried to replicate an Indian sauce, but the result was not what they expected. They kept the mixture in a barrel and forgot about it, until years later they tested it and discovered that it had improved with time. This is how this sauce was born, which today is an essential condiment in many recipes, from dressings to meats, and a classic in the United Kingdom. The delicious brownie, that dessert that we all love, seems to have been the result of a mistake. In 1893, a Chicago housewife forgot to add yeast to her chocolate cake. Although the dessert didn't rise, its dense, fudgy texture was an instant hit. Since then, the brownie has become a classic that has evolved into countless versions, but always maintaining that unique texture. The concept of buffet, which we associate today with large self-service meals, has military roots. In the 18th century, Swedish armies implemented a buffet table so that soldiers could help themselves quickly before going into battle. Over time, this idea spread and became a popular and practical way to serve food at gatherings and social events. The avocado, that delicious creamy fruit, was known by the Aztecs as ahuacatl, which curiously also means testicle in Nahuatl, due to its peculiar shape. In addition to its shape, the Aztecs considered it an aphrodisiac. Over time, the name changed to avocado in English and aguacate in Spanish. Today, it is a key ingredient in many cuisines around the world. When Coca-Cola was created in 1886 by pharmacist John Stith Pemberton, its original recipe included coca leaf extract. At that time, cocaine was legal and was used in various medications. Cocaine was eliminated from the recipe at the beginning of the 20th century, but the myth that Coca-Cola still contains cocaine has endured in the popular imagination. The first carrots cultivated were not orange, but purple, white, and yellow. It was in the 17th century when Dutch horticulturists, in honor of the House of Orange, developed the orange variety that became popular throughout Europe. This sweeter and more attractive version conquered the world, and today it is the most common variety we find in supermarkets. The martini is today a symbol of sophistication, but its popularity was born during Prohibition in the United States. Due to the ease of production of gin, this drink became the favorite in speakeasies. After Prohibition, the martini became a drink of elegance, popularized by characters such as James Bond. Today, lobster is an expensive delicacy, but in the 19th century, it was viewed as a poor man's food in North America. It was so abundant that it was used as fertilizer and to feed prisoners and servants. It was not until the 20th century that lobster gained status, becoming the luxury it is today, thanks to new transportation and cooking techniques. The microwave was discovered by accident in 1945 by Percy Spencer, a Raytheon engineer. While working with radars, he noticed that a chocolate bar in his pocket had melted when it was near a magnetron. From that moment on, Spencer and his team developed the first microwave, revolutionizing the way we cook food around the world. The word spaghetti comes from the Italian spago, which means rope, referring to its long, thin shape. Although pasta has ancient roots, the term spaghetti was not common until the 19th century. Today, spaghetti is one of the most popular pastas in the world and an emblem of Italian cuisine. And so, we come to the end of this first part about fascinating curiosities from the history of cooking. Which of these stories surprised you the most? At Cookinglandia, we are always excited to share unique and delicious recipes with you. Thanks for joining us. If you were left wanting more, we have many more curiosities to share. Give us a like and leave a comment if you want us to publish the second part. Don't forget to subscribe and activate the bell so you don't miss anything. See you in the next video. And for more detailed articles, recipes, and culinary courses, visit our website at cookinglandia.com.